Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Just One's Motorsport. I think starts the dream. So I got this idea from Ed Bullion over at VinWiki for car stories and stuff, and I thought, it'd be kind of cool to explain to you guys my car history and how many cars I've actually owned. And each one of these cars always have a story to them. So I've owned 10 cars. So the Corolla that I drive right now is my 10th car that I own. So now I'm going to give you a little example explaining how this hat cost me $40,000 when I traded in my Sunfire back in July of 2009 here. So yeah, let's start out the story here with so in 2009 I had a Sunfire, right, and I was kind of getting bullied a bit out the car because of the amount of stuff I've done to this car and that, and then I walked into the Capital dealership and looked at a Pontiac, looked at a few cars, and I bought just out of impulse one of the Pontiac Solstice, a two-seater convertible, 5-speed manual rear-wheel drive. Inline four. It's a non-turbo because the turbo didn't come out to 2007, so I got the old 6 model. Silver, all that. So the only options I got on the car when I bought it was a cold air intake and also a MagnaFlow catback system and all that. So yeah, so I ended up buying that car and I asked the sales guy, "Oh man, can you get me like a free hat or something? Because I'm going to be dropping a lot of money into this car." They said, "Oh yeah, that's no problem at all." So yeah, so we signed the paperwork. I test drive the car, sign the paperwork, and then I get a free hat out of buying a car. Now, if you're wondering why this hat costs $40,000, well, technically the hat isn't worth. The car is $40,000. I had to drop $40,000 to get a free hat. So technically, in terms, this hat right here is $40,000 is what it costs to get, because nothing's free in this world. So you have to drop so much money to get some free apparel, which is not free. You understand what this means? Like, this hat is technically $40,000 hat, and that. So that car got me, and that car really did change my life. Even though I bought out of impulse, I could barely afford the car payments on it, but I managed. Got me into the car scene, so I met a lot of you guys who are my friends that have subscribed to my channel. And that. So I met a lot of great people, good history with that car, got me into car shows and all that. And then I started to mod the car slowly over time. So normally the mods I've done to the car. So DDM Works is a site for performance site and they specialize in Pontiac Solstices, Skies, Ariel Adams, and I think some other vehicles. I can't remember, but I'll leave a link down below to DDM Works' website for you to look at for a car if you own a Solstice, Sky, or an Ariel Atom. Well, I have all different performance parts, suspension, all that good stuff and that. And so I bought a lot of stuff from them. The stuff I did buy from them, well, I bought a short shifter kit, which eventually I never did get installed. I sold that to another Solstice driver. I had DDM Works valve cover, DDM Works silicone hose, rad hoses. I also had the DDM Works center fuel rail and stainless steel fuel lines, and also stainless. And then I also bought brakes, Hawk HPS pads I was running with slotted and drilled rotors and all that. The car brakes, but man, if you don't get those brakes hot, man, those things squeal like a piggy. As people are saying, "Oh, your brakes need fixed." I'm like, no, these are just high performance brakes that need to be really hot to stop the squeaky noise. So yeah, every time I drove, so I pretty much made this car unpractical to drive, especially putting it up with the braking system and all that. Every time it's just like a squealing like a little piggy and that. And I also the note for those cars, the clutches are quite weak in those cars. If you're a very aggressive driver with these clutches and that, so I ended up blowing the clutch in this car, and so I ended up buying an Exetti Stage 2 clutch for the car, and so that was pretty cool. It cost me, I think with the flywheel, it was like $600, something now with the flywheel, and then also the install, so at $1,500 to get them to do the clutch in it. Now that clutch in the Stage 2 is rated for 498 foot-pounds of torque, I think, or 432. I can't remember what the Exetti Stage 2 clutch was rated for, but that was a pretty big clutch for that car. don't know if they, when I got the clutch done, I don't know if they didn't adjust it properly because it was a really heavy clutch. So by the time I was getting used to this, so when I picked the car up from the shop, the clutch, I stalled the car 18 times because that clutch is literally that heavy. I stalled like 12 times trying not even getting off the Dookie Avenue, and I stalled that car. So over time I got used to that heavy clutch. And the weird thing is my left leg was actually bigger than my right leg because the intensity and the amount of pressure you had to put in to shift this car. Oh, it shifted really nice. It does hurt if the clutch springs back at you. Oh, that hurts a few times in that car. So yeah, pretty good memories. I've driven that car from 09 to 2015. Like I said, I sold it and all that. And yeah, it really a lot of people say, oh, you should have got rid of that car, you should have got rid of that car, you know, and all that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I wanted something different, and I had a love-hate relationship on it, and I really did make that car really unpractical to drive because it was not a daily driver, or at least I could drive it in the summer, and driving around with that clutch and everything and the squealing brakes because the car brakes just don't get hot enough unless I'm out on the track. So yeah, so that's my story about the Pontiac Solstice, my $40,000 hat, along when I bought this Solstice watch that I still have. So these are the only two things that I have left of when I used to own a Pontiac Solstice. So yeah, this car was like, yeah, it was something, this car, I tell you that for sure. Would I buy another one? Maybe somewhere down the road. I mean, they're really cheap. You can pick them up for under 10 grand now. So they really, they are a lot cheaper sports car to convertible two-seater to get into and all that. So yeah, I will end this video here. And if you like this, if you'd like me to do some more car stories of the cars that I've owned in the past, because like I said, every one of these cars that I've owned has a story to it. And if you want to hear me do more stories, let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see more of my car history and that, and also subscribe if you haven't already. Like and then share the video. Turn on notifications because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm and all that. And yeah, so I'll end it here. I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, I'm Justin's Morris, where everything starts with a dream. Peace.